So, good morning or good night, depending on where you're in the world. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today we're joined tonight by Walt Hamburger. So he used to be in a band, but now he has his own music. And it's interesting because it's some songs are like very acousticy and some are like very pop punk type of style. So we have Walt here with us. So Walt, first of all, how are you today?
I'm good. I like that your glasses are glowing, my glasses are going. No one will actually see our eyes at all. This is good.
Yes, I try. Sometimes I try to, put
Mine are worse. Mine's got the TV on in the background. I look like I'm from space. Maybe if I turn this off. Is it?
yeah,
No,
well, yeah. Sometimes it depends on where I look. In because if I look straight in something, then I have the glare.
yours go right around your eyeballs though. It looks kind of cool. Mine's just like raw.
Oh, because it's the ring light.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, so the your new album is out this Friday the 20th on I think it's Thousand Lakes Records.
Thousand Islands.
Thousand what?
Islands.
Thousand Islands
Yep.
Records, which is a record label from Montreal. And
Sure.
I get that record label has a lot of like punk bands and stuff to it. Because
Mm-hmm.
every time I get from that from Mike who sent me, I get like the pop punk bands. I'm like, yeah, because I like different types of music, and sometimes I want to talk to pop punk bands and not only like death metal or
Right, right, right.
or stuff like that. So, so first of all, you were before in a band. I think they were called the Hamburgers, right?
That was my first band that got any kind of recognition. Yeah, we stopped being a band in like 2005 or six or something, but that was the first one where we kind of went on the road and got in front of some people outside of our hometown and stuff. A little bit of recognition, nothing big.
But is Hamburger really your last name, or is that your like
No.
artist name?
My last name is Lantkowski, which people are scared of for some reason, and so it kind of just became like, hey, there's Ben from the Hamburgers, there's Mike from the Hamburgers, there's Walt from the Hamburgers. Like the Ramones thing is like Joey Ramone, Walt Hamburger, so it just kind of stuck. And I was fine with it because everybody had no problem pronouncing it. So, and at the time, I ate meat, so it was fine. I don't eat meat anymore, so it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, that you don't eat meat anymore. So but the hamburger name stuck with you. Uh,
Yeah,
so I was listening to your older stuff, and I listened obviously to the album. It's an album or an EP. I think it's like 8 songs, but I think it categorizes.
it's technically 10 songs because two songs are two songs together. So it's listed as a 4 and 4, but two songs on the track 1 and track 8 are actually should be track 1 and 2 and 9 and 10. So whatever, it's all up to interpretation. But yeah, I'm calling it a record.
Let's call it a record. Yes,
Yeah.
it's technical. You have a single for this record. Uh, that the single's called "Isolation." That is your take on modern dating.
Insolent. Yeah. I had some friends that were really good at Tinder. Um, and like they could clean up in a week, some of my female friends, and then some of them started getting pregnant. And I was just like, oh, maybe it's not great to be good at Tinder. So I decided to kind of just write down some thoughts on that and just make up the characters and the story of the song are made up, but the motivation was from some people I knew. So
Yeah,
I just think it's kind of a weird thing that being really hot can get you so far, but then it might backfire. None of these people were trying to get pregnant. So
yeah. Well, there's an invention called the condom.
yeah,
Maybe it's very maybe if I had warned that they could have Tindered better.
none of my business. Just I'm just observing from a distance.
Yeah, it's interesting. I that it's about that. Yeah, modern dating is it's weird. I actually like dated for a while because I got divorced, but I didn't like Tinder. I like Bumble better.
The whole thing is scary for me. I live in a small town. I mean, we're like 75,000 people, and there's a lot of towns around it, but everybody knows who I am. So like, um, I usually, I mean, I'm kind of going away from it. Have like bright blue hair and So for some reason, I'm just like scared to just be like, I'm out. I mean, I'm not out there. I have a partner right now, but everything, and I have for almost 5 years now. But if it ever came to that, I think I would be pretty nervous about throwing myself back out there. But it was interesting to watch, like, or you'll go on tour with somebody and they're just every night like swiping and swiping and swiping, trying to meet somebody local. And I get it. Like it's on it. The weird part about it, in my opinion, is that it's almost the only comfortable way to approach someone if you do on a date. I mean, it's a little different now where you don't really necessarily just want to meet someone on the street or in a bar or anything. That might come off as creepy because they're not putting themselves out there as available. Whereas with a dating app, I guess you are. You're just like, hey, here I am. Let's see. So I'm doomed if I'm ever single again. I guess let's put it that way.
It's different time, but I'm glad I'm out of that scene.
Good, good. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird. Yeah, like back in the day, or you met people like your friends introduce you to some friends of them. But
Yeah,
yeah, but the whole like browsing, it's like a catalog. You're like
yeah,
looking at
yeah.
catalog,
You're shopping.
and
Yeah,
if you're, it's bad if you don't like. It could be bad for your self esteem if like no one is like liking you back. But
I'm afraid of that too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if it happened, I don't know. I'm glad I haven't had to dabble yet. Who knows? Maybe someday.
Does any of your friend knows that that song was inspired by them?
I don't think so. I was thinking about that when I was answering that because that's the first time. This is the first one of these series of interviews I've done, and
Okay.
I got a lot this week, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder if I should have said no. That they won't. They probably won't even figure it out. I mean,
Yeah,
well, maybe they will. So I
yeah,
can't. Not that many people got pregnant, but whatever.
it's a cat. It's a cat track. At least it wasn't like that documentary about that doctor who impregnated like a whole town. Uh,
I
something
didn't
like
know about that.
yeah, that's a weird thing. So it's 10 tracks, but another track that I really like was the opening track. Anyway, come over because it
Yeah,
started like sticky and then it gets so like all pop punk.
yeah.
It's something
I
about
thought, because my last two records were on Joy Cape's 1 Week records, and they were purely acoustic. There was like a few drums and bass every now and then, but mostly it's like by design a very underproduced record. So I thought I'd kind of trick people by starting with another acoustic and the whistling, and then break into the more of the theme of the album with the full band stuff. So
yeah, because I
I'm
was
glad
listening
you like that.
to a lot of your older stuff and there was a lot of like acoustic things.
Yep.
I think there was I'm trying to remember the songs right now at the top of my head. I think there was one about being drunk. I can't remember now right now.
There's like 30 of those.
Yeah, I've heard of those. So, tell me a little bit about other themes that you cover on this new record, which I haven't said the name of the. It's Walt Hamburger and Louis.
And Louis. So here's the record. And I guess I should take the plastic off. But this is my dog Wednesday, and this is my dog, but it's actually my partner Jess's dog, but it's our dogs now, and that's Louis. And so Wednesday's kind of been my. I got her about 5 years ago. She's been on some t-shirts. She's gotten plenty of press and stuff, and then with me and my partner, we noticed whenever we would go to sit by each other, Louis would enter the conversation, just jump in between us, and we'd be like, and Louis. And I've really grown to love that dog. And so I decided at one point I was trying to come up with the name of the record, and most of the record is about this girl. That's what this record's about, and so Louis is a big part of that. So that's kind of where I came up with that name. And then I don't know, my friend Hannah designed this. The whole like Looney Tunes sort of thing where he's busting through the wall and everything. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
But
I have the photo here, so we can show the photo for people. What? Here's the picture. Here's the picture of the album. So yeah, so it's very Looney Tunes. Yeah,
oh yeah,
and,
there it is.
and part of the and that's all, folks.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I like the way that she had it, like with the fonts and everything. It was like, like Looney Tunes sometimes would have other characters just pop out, be like, me too. So I thought that was a nice. I designed that. I came up with this idea like way late in the game. Like I owed the record label a cover like 3 months before this, and and I was like, oh, I finally have an idea that I like, and they were all able to make it work. So I just got the physical copies today, so I'm pretty excited to have them, and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and it's funny. It's very tongue in cheek, and you're gonna have copies of this on. You're doing a release show, I think, on a brewery.
Yep, Badger State Brewery in Green Bay, Wisconsin, pretty close to where I live. We're playing on Saturday. It'll be me doing some of the acoustic stuff, and then we'll do some full band stuff too. We'll be able to play some of the songs on the new record. And it's a free event, but definitely bring some money to get the first copies. We've got a red and white quad version, and then we've got a blue version, and I think they came out pretty good. I don't know which one this is. Let's see. This is the blue. It's kind of got that little like, and then red and white one is like that's our Canadian version because that's where I'm going for most of the tour. So we only printed 150 of these, but these came out nice too. See here.
Oh, I like that. The white, yeah.
Life preserver now that I think about it. But yeah, you work on something for so long, and you work with so many people, the record labels, the recording studios, the booking agencies, and it all finally comes together. And it's a very satisfying feeling to finally have all these in my possession, and like it's all real now,
Yeah, and so you have that definitely style of the acoustic thing, and the more like pop punk thing. Like, do you have a favorite? Like, do you like to play more acoustic, or do you like the combination of both?
I like doing both. A lot of One Week Records, Joey Cape's label, is about half of the artists no one's probably heard of before they come out with, and then half of them are like Fat Records guys like Yo Tom Ben Horn from Useless ID, or Zach Quinn from Pears, or Chris Cresswell from Flatliners. And almost all those guys, they're known from their punk rock band, and then they're also doing acoustic. And for me, it's kind of the opposite. I've been playing solo for a while now, and that's how I met Joey and started doing those records. So I was one of those unknown people 11 years ago. um, and and then but I like playing songs that everybody knows the words to and sings along, and I feel like it's more likely for that to happen when you do a full band version of a song and then play an acoustic version of it. So they learn the full band version, with the background vocals and stuff like that, and then when you play live, and if it's just me acoustic like on this tour, I can play the same songs, but if people know the words and stuff, they can do the backgrounds and stuff. It can be a lot more fun. So I wanted to try an album like that, and I missed writing for a full band because there's so much more things you could do. I like both versions equally. I just like to kind of dabble between both.
Yeah, plus it keeps it exciting and
So
and you can do like if MTV Unplugged exists again, you're ready
yeah,
to MTV Unplugged.
that'd be great for me. Let's bring that back, MTV.
Yeah, they don't music anymore.
No, they don't do anything. It's just babies, 15-year-old pregnant babies and challenges. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not what it was back in the day. So tell me a little bit about other themes that you have on this record.
So each song is kind of different. I know that drives some people crazy. Like, you hear the Ramones and you're gonna hear the Ramones, and like I dabble in all kinds of different sounds. So I feel like this record, most of the songs are about my relationship with Jess, my partner, one way or another. 6-3 was about getting up the nerve to ask her out for the first time. And Anyway, Come Over, like you were saying, was literally me just hoping one day that she would just be like, come on, man, come on over. And I'm just sitting there going like, let's do this, let's hang out. I like you a lot. Let's hang out. And then there's some songs about fearing like 18 hours is about like, wow, what if I'm not good enough? How's this gonna play out? Like this feels really good, so I'm scared because it feels so good, but also like none of my other relationships have worked out, just like everybody else who's, had dated anyone previously. So and then and there's a few songs that are just like introspective, as well as like a couple just from another person's point of view, like that's Insolent Song, like that's not about me. So I
Mhm.
tried to mix it up, write just I mostly write from experience, more than telling stories or political themes. Although I'm very political, I don't write about it very much. Like most of my songs are, here's how I feel about a certain thing, and the style of the song that comes out of it could be very different. Like Insolence and the last song on the record are very like fast punk rock songs, and then you've got like a song like Stay, which is like a even slower than like a power ballad, and you got like a very midwestern like Figsy kind of song in the middle there, with just me. So and then there's the full acoustic love song I wrote in there as well. So Do Crimes. So I hope it's an interesting listen for people, um, and uh, and that they don't get bored, because it's always something that's a little new. Especially when you're sequencing is a scary thing. Just trying to pick the order of songs like this, because it's like you don't want them to get bored with something, and then all of a sudden like, or you don't want it to all be fast and all slow, and then it's just like that's like everybody's got their energy expelled. So I hope it came out okay. I've been working on this record basically since the pandemic started, so I'm glad it's finally out there.
Yeah, I think the mostly is like a combination because if you put all this, if like because with bands that have like slow songs and fast songs, like for example, that's been my problem with Pearl Jam. Sometimes they had an album back in 2020 where they had all like the fast songs at the beginning, and then it was all slow. I'm like,
Yeah, you run out of energy,
yeah, I think you gotta like space them out. Uh, but I think this record it's got a good variation of tones for it, and
Thank you.
like a very sincere record. It's a you wrote just about your experiences, so you can actually tell that behind behind that. I had a question behind the album name, but you already answered it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
excited to answer those questions, though. I'm glad that it'll to finally get to talk about Louis. So yeah.
yeah. And does Louis and your other dog get along?
Yes, and that was a great point of pride for me, because Louis is not big into other dogs. Wednesday, my dog, loves everyone and everything. And so integration, it took a few years to convince Jess that we should do this, because Louis is just he has his routines, and that's what makes him happy. And but Wednesday is my dog is so understanding. Like once she figured out his routines and stuff, and so he likes to play, but not with her. And so now she's learned that when he plays, she just lays on the couch and deals with it. She keeps trying. Every time they're together, they try to play, and he just kind of, oh, let me just scooch right past you. Like he doesn't like. He's not aggressive with her or anything. And they ride in the car together when we go up to our family's cabin, and they sleep in the same bed and they cuddle up and everything when they're together. So they've really become best friends, and I'm really really happy about that. But it wasn't necessarily a sure thing that we'd be able to pull that off, but we did in pretty quick time too. So whenever they see each other, they just give each other a quick sniff, and then they just kind of go see the people they want to see, and everybody gets along really well.
Yeah. And we were talking offline before that besides doing music, you have a nonprofit that has to do with animals. Tell us a little bit about that nonprofit.
Yeah, it's called. This is actually the insert of the record, and it's called the Walt Hamburger Foundation. And this is a cat that we tried to save that had FIP that we weren't able to, but through her loss, we've been able to raise lots of money to help. People often come across a pet emergency, and they want to. It's not necessary that it's not necessarily true that or certain that the surgery or the procedure or the medicine will save them. And so a lot of families, money's tight. They have to make a really difficult choice. And sometimes we can help pay for some of that, or we can help out local rescues that are in need. Maybe they have too many pets, maybe they need food. We've raised money for, the Australian wildfires, with the hurricanes that come through in the Gulf Coast, that kind of thing. We sent money down to rescues, because a lot of times people have to make a choice to what do they take, and sometimes they end up leaving their pets behind, and then all of a sudden all these rescues are overflowing with pets, and they don't even have clean water and stuff. So we try to just fill whatever need we can. There's a pig rescue, a pig sanctuary nearby that we donate quite a bit of our percentage of what we raise to sponsor some of the pigs. These are pigs that fell off of trucks on their way to be slaughtered, or maybe they were being harvested for a heart for a transplant and it didn't work, or they were tested on for makeup and stuff. And there's this beautiful sanctuary not far from here, run by my friend TJ, that just takes in these pigs and gives them a great life. And so me and my friends will go down there with just like, you know, 100 pounds of carrots and apples and just be chucking them at all the pigs and letting them feed and stuff. And it's awesome. So, and then we also have an artist part of it. It's a small part of our budget, but we try to help out music schools, or we donated some instruments to a homeless shelter. Just kind of try to, because I'm in the arts, I want to help out artists too. So we try to look at like youth art and things like that. And so it's a small volunteer run organization. It's called the Walt Hamburger Foundation. We're a 501c3. And it's just 3 or 4 of us usually at any given time. And we just try to raise money and help where we can.
Yeah, no, it paid forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good thing. I'm here in Puerto Rico, so where hurricanes come, pets and owners will stay in the same thing. we can't drive anywhere.
You guys, you guys are kind of stuck there, huh?
I can't do shit. I can't do it. Yeah, well, I lived in Miami for a few years,
Okay.
but couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a cool thing that you do, and obviously you can tell by the album cover that you're an animal lover, and that's good because like a lot of people like mistreat animals, and it's cruel to see like people that get dogs and they're like shamed all day. And why did you get a dog? That's just like
Yeah. I
inhumane.
don't get it at all.
Yeah, inhumane to have it. I don't have dogs now, but I used to have a basset hound.
Oh, cool.
I used to, yeah. His name was Sam, but
Yeah.
he was good, kind of lazy because basset
Yeah.
hounds are kind of lazy.
Those are real low to the ground, right? Like they're just kind of with the big ears, and they just kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like he would run for a while if he would escape, and then he like sit down and like come get me.
Yep. I like those kind of dogs. I mean, I like all dogs, but I like those kind of dogs a lot. I had a
Yeah,
beagle at one point.
they're very like they're very loyal, and they're like like because they were used for hunting, but they're like very like sweet. Uh,
Hmm.
but they shed a lot of hair, but they're sweet dogs.
Oh, not as much as my husky, I bet.
Oh yeah, no, the huskies.
That's 365 days a year. Yep.
Yeah, you have the rolling thing to get it
Oh
up.
yeah, and even that doesn't,
No, that
I just
doesn't.
need to see it for.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work the whole time. So
Not when you wear black all the time, like I do too.
yeah. So where can people be excited to people if they don't go to the show? Where can they pre-order the record?
So in North America, thousandislandrecords.com would be the place to do it. Everything's pretty easy to find there. I have links on my social medias and stuff too. In Europe, if you want to, there are some that are being shipped via Bearded Punk Records, so that people don't have to pay the international shipping of overseas and stuff. It'll be on all of the streaming services starting Friday at midnight, I guess. And then if you come to a show, I'll have them with me. So that's the way to do it. I start tour in 2 weeks. Just bought my flights today, so right back at it.
It's gonna be in Canada, right?
Yep. Just a couple weeks there, doing the Quebec, like Montreal, Quebec City, Ottawa, and then I'm going to be in Ontario with Toronto, Hamilton, Tillensburg. I think there's a few more things in there, but yeah, I like Canada a lot. They're very nice to me. They seem to know the words to the songs, and they sing along, and they come out and join me at the shows and stuff. So I'm very excited to get back at it. I haven't toured for about a year and a half, which is crazy because up to that point, other than the COVID year, there was 1 year, a couple years ago, where I was 5 different times in 12 months, all Canada, and Europe twice. So be nice, and maybe even a little scary to get back out there.
No, I bet. So, what like when you're ready to like go on tour, like how do you prepare, like mentally, or like what do you need for a tour?
Um, well, a lot of it is annoying stuff, like making sure I have enough merch and flights and hotels and renting a car, and just figuring out what place can I stay at a friend's house, or what place where should I eat, that kind of stuff. And then I play enough locally, I think, um, where I should be in like good enough shape to play my songs well. But just getting your fingers ready for the longer sets with acoustic guitar versus electric guitar. Acoustic guitar hurts your fingers after a while, so just making sure I'm like physically ready to do it. But for the most part, it's stressful right up to the point where you get on the plane, and then all of a sudden you've done it so many times, you just kind of go through it. Like just make sure all your bags are there, and that you get your car and you get to the venue on time and you sing your songs. Touring is like every day it's like 23 hours of waiting and 1 hour of fun. So um the only thing, oh, that's my dog Wednesday saying um the only thing that's it's like sometimes I'm by myself. Like on this one I'll be by myself. Sometimes I have a tour manager with me, so it can get a little more lonely and boring. But also I think I'll counteract is that I haven't done it in a while, so it'll be exciting to get back out there. And this is Ontario and Quebec, or Canada in general is like one of my favorite places to go. So I'm excited.
Yeah, they're very nice over there.
They are, and we haven't been super nice to them lately in our country. So I'm hoping that they don't hold that against me.
That's not your fault, man.
Well, I know. I'm sure you have your own takes on that in Puerto Rico too. So
Yes. Unfortunately, we are a colony.
mhm,
So
I know.
that means we have basically no power. but,
Yep.
but yeah,
Taxation without representation. Yep.
maybe Canada will come and give us free healthcare.
I, I'll let them know that you're looking for that when I'm up there.
No, yeah, no, like no. But I have some friends. I have a YouTuber friend from Canada. So they're very nice, and
They really are. It's a real stereotype. It's one of those ones that fits them. I mean, there's definitely jerks everywhere, but in general, even when a Canadian's being mean, it's kind of like, in my experience, it's friendly.
yeah. Before that, the only my only reference was South Park.
Blame Canada. Yeah, Barrington Phillip and such. Hey,
Yes,
buddy.
it was funny, but no. So, out of this new record right now, do you have a what's your like? Do you have a favorite song to play right now?
To play, I don't know. Do Crimes is a very personal song. I don't write a lot of happy songs, and that song was kind of optimistic. Like I wrote that 3 days after I met Jess. I just felt like I knew right away that this was something special. And like I said, I don't write a lot of songs like that, so I do enjoy playing that one. It depends on the show too. Like a lot of tours I've done are I'm the only acoustic thing there, and then everybody else is a punk band, and I'm right in the middle. So I might be doing a more fast-paced show, and then to play like a 4-minute ballad won't fit or something. So, but I don't know. I like playing Insolence usually because people enjoy the Nothing Matters part, and 6-3 has a little sing-along part. So it's just kind of fun to add more songs, to your repertoire anyway. Instead of you might tour for 3 years and you're playing the same songs over and over again, and now at least I've been playing a lot of these songs for a while, but people don't know them, because they haven't been in a recorded version yet. So um, I would say those are probably the favorites right now, and I think it'll start getting more fun once people start knowing the words and stuff.
Yeah. So for the record release show, it's gonna be you. Is there who else is playing on Saturday?
It's just me, but it's me with my band. So there'll be like a section where it's just a duo, couple guitars, and there's going to be a section where it's two guitars and a drum. There's going to be sections where it's full band with bass guitar, guitars, drums. So when I play locally, I have some guys that can play with me, but they all are married. They all have families. They have limited vacation time, so I can't really bring them on the road. So occasionally they'll come with me and stuff, but so it's just a brewery kind of showcase thing with a big stage outside. So no opener or anything, just us.
Nice. And some good beers for people who go to the brewery.
They do make good beer there. Yeah, Badger State. It's a huge brewery. It's like a big couple of warehouses put together kind of thing, and they make all kinds of beer, and it does the job.
Yeah, so, sounds like a fun time. So, Walt, I want to thank you, for taking some time of your evening to chat with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I'll post the link for people who want to pre-order the record.
Okay.
If you're in the Wisconsin area on Saturday, check out the album release show. So before I let you go, Walt, anything you like to say to the people before we go?
Boy, it's hard not to just make strong political statements, but how about we try not to kill each other? How's that sound?
Yes, that's a good one. Try not to be nice to each other.
Yeah, and if everyone that is currently, I shouldn't say anything because they're not going to let me cross the border if I say anything. So I just gotta. All right.
Okay.
I think everybody knows how I feel about these subjects.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, Walt, thank you again for taking some time, and the album Walt Hamburger and Louie out this Friday. So
that's right.
If you like acoustic and pop punk, there it is. You'll enjoy it. And if you like the Looney Tunes, you like that cover as well.
Yeah, and I should say that the record is mostly rock and roll.
Yeah,
punk rock and roll and stuff. It's a different than the other one. So I hope people like it. The songs all do play well acoustically and stuff, but it's a rock record. It's a high energy record. So
yeah, it's more rocking than the other things that I listen. I'm like, yeah, this one's more. It's got that more rocking. So yeah, I like it. I have nothing against acoustic music. I love some of it, but yeah, it has that rocking quality. So Couchers, you heard it here. Walt Hamburger and Louie out this Friday. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and goodbye.